We often talk about waste and excess and lack of optimization in the American healthcare system. And the Washington Post has a really interesting article about how there are two drugs for eye care that have been declared equivalently good, right? Equivalently effective. They were tested side by side in 6 major trials. Both prevent blindness in a common old age affliction. Biologically, they're cousins, and the two drugs are made by the same company. One is called Avastin, and the other is called Lucentis. Avastin costs about $50 per injection, and Lucentis costs about $2,000 per injection. Doctors are choosing the more expensive Lucentis more than 500,000 times every single year. This choice alone is responsible for an extra $1 billion or more in spending annually to Medicare, which is the largest single customer for these drugs. The company is Genentech. It's a division of the Roche Group. It makes both products, and it makes a lot more from selling the $2,000 injection than it does on the $50 injection. Lucentis is 40 times as expensive as Avastin, but the cost of producing the two drugs is similar, according to scientists who are familiar with the industry. Doctors say that, or rather, doctors may benefit from choosing the more expensive drug. Under Medicare repayment rules for drugs given by physicians, they are reimbursed for the average price of the drug plus 6%. 6% of 40 times more is a lot more than 6% of the $50. That means that the higher price may be easier to sell to doctors than the cheaper price. And the other issue is that Genentech also offers some rebates to doctors who use significantly large volumes of the more expensive drug. It's basically legalized bribery, is it not, Lewis?
It is. It's just another problem with our system, and this is probably a lot more prevalent with specialty drugs that are not as common, like in this case with these injections.
Right.
I know in a lot of cases there are instances in which I've been a witness to this, where someone will get a prescription from a doctor for this high-end American-made drug, and when they get around to the pharmacy, it will suddenly be a much cheaper Indian-made version of that drug. So it does go both ways, but of course there are a lot of doctors out there, and of course pharmaceuticals who are just trying to milk the system.
Now, Genentech is defending the use of the more expensive drug. They're saying that when Lucentis is prescribed, it is the correct prescription, it is most appropriate, and that it does cost, quote, significantly more to make, and that therefore the higher price is justified. J. Gregory Rosenthal, who's a Toledo ophthalmologist, is outraged by this, and he says, Lucentis is Avastin. It's the same damn molecule with a few cosmetic changes, yet Americans are paying $1 billion every year for no good reason, unless you count making Genentech rich. Lewis, this is one drug, two drugs, one drug choice, just for Medicare, right? $1 billion just choosing one drug over another. Think about the billions in waste that exist, and part of it is the pricing schemes that exist and the patent system that exists with these drugs. It's just unbelievable. It's staggering. But we've got to cancel Big Bird, right? That's where the money is.
Right. Well, I mean, the counter argument here would be that, look, if Genentech is capable of making these breakthrough products, well, then perhaps all this money will go into research and development that in the future will give us more incredible breakthroughs from this company. But when you hear $1 billion, David, it doesn't sound good.